Today, we're diving into a question that's deeply personal, but also incredibly public. What does it really mean to be a Muslim in the modern West? We're going to break down the very foundations of this identity and the huge challenges it faces in our world today.
So let's just start with the question we all have to answer, but for millions of people, it has layers of complexity that we're going to get into today. Who are you? Seems simple, right? But the answer? Identity. That's the invisible force that shapes not just how you see yourself, but how the entire world sees you.
So what even is identity? Well, the sociologist Anthony Giddens defines it as the deep, meaningful significance of our existence. See, it's not just a label, it's not just what you are, but the powerful why behind it all. Okay, with that in mind, let's get specific. What are the core beliefs, the actual building blocks, that create the foundation of an Islamic identity?
Right at the very center, the absolute core of Islamic identity is one single principle: Tawheed. This is the bedrock of the entire faith, this unwavering belief in the absolute oneness and unity of God. Literally everything else is built on this one powerful idea.
And building on that foundation of oneness, you have the 6 articles of faith, which are known as Iman. These are the beliefs that complete the whole theological framework, covering everything from angels and prophets all the way to the Day of Judgment. But here's the thing. This identity isn't just a set of abstract beliefs you keep in your head. So how does it actually translate from theology into a real, tangible way of life?
This is a really key insight from our sources. Islamic identity isn't just a part of life. It's described as a way of life that touches all aspects without exception. It's not something you can just switch on and off. It's an integrated system. And this identity is described as having 2 fundamental and totally intertwined elements. First up, you have the form, the Arabic language. It's not just for talking, it's the sacred language of Scripture. And second, you have the content, Islam itself, which shapes everything from customs and traditions to a person's entire worldview.
All right, so we've established the what and the how of this identity. Now we get to the central challenge, the real friction point that our source material explores. What happens when this all-encompassing way of life meets the modern, secular West?
To really get a sense of the scale here, just look at this number. There are roughly 20 million Muslims living in Europe. So this isn't some small, niche issue we're talking about. This is a massive, continent-wide cultural encounter that's happening every single day.
And this encounter creates what one of our sources calls the immigrant's dilemma. It's like a fork in the road. On one side, you have withdrawal and authenticity, preserving your traditions, but you risk being isolated. And on the other side, assimilation and modernity, fully integrating, but risking the loss of your core cultural values. It's presented as an unbelievably difficult choice.
And make no mistake, this is not just a theoretical problem. The sources describe a profound feeling of alienation that this whole dilemma creates. I mean, can you imagine being faced with those 2 stark choices? Either withdraw completely into yourself or abandon the values that have defined who you are? It's just an incredibly tough spot to be in.
And that brings us to this powerful metaphor, the scales. Now, theologically, in Islam, these scales are all about weighing a person's deeds on Judgment Day. But in this modern context, they've come to represent a whole different kind of judgment. That daily struggle to find a delicate balance between your faith, your heritage, and your life in a new society.
As one source puts it so powerfully, the duality of identity and integration is the Achilles heel in the life of the Arab Muslim immigrant. That phrase, Achilles heel, it just perfectly captures the deep vulnerability and the sheer difficulty of trying to navigate these 2 worlds.
So, this leaves us with a question that goes way beyond this specific topic. In our super interconnected world, does identity always have to be a choice between holding on and letting go? It's a question that, in so many ways, really defines what it means to be human today.